the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, August 18th. Ready for a big sports betting day in Major League Baseball and 4 games of the WNBA tonight. Let's keep going this week, heading to some NFL preseason here this weekend. We've also got UFC action here today from the Dana White's Contender Series, and you can pick up the plays right now by going to our live tab and checking out VB MMA Picks. We previewed all 5 fights here tonight with our special guest this week. It was Mr. Blonde, an MMA expert, really specializes in up-and-coming fighters in the Contender Series, basically. There are 5 fights tonight here at 7 p.m. Or 8 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Let me make sure I got the time right here for our 5 fights. And there'll be some contracts awarded here tonight, so check it out. VB MMA Picks, including the card here for tonight. And should be a good one. We got all 5 fights previewed, so check it out. Underneath the live tab, VB MMA Picks for tonight's Dana White Contender Series. I think we probably have I think there's some companion stream for that here on the Sports Money Network, so make sure you're checking it out here tonight. All right. And you can get more picks from me by going to winnable.com/Ramon. I've got my premium picks here for today. Man, I laid off the baseball here. Good thing. I didn't have a very good day, did I? With our premium picks yesterday. We'll take a look at those here and see if we had any winners. But you get more picks from me. Go to winnable.com/Ramon. You'll receive my plays in a timely fashion. 30 to 60 minutes before game time. These are my added picks, my best bets. With the Win Club, use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off the premium pick packages and get more picks from me here. Hopefully we're going to give you some good picks here right now and cover the action for today. But let me say hello to the folks in the chat here as we get rolling here for our card on Tuesday. It's going to be Nick Handy joining us here. He was with the guys last week with the UFC coverage, doing a great job. Blake is here. Good morning to Blake today. Also, Ryan Mueller, good morning. Cash Kane, hello. And who else? Hey, Yo D is on the train here. That's probably it from the crew. Recap some of the action here from Monday night and try to find the winners, right? Like I said, boy, our winning streak kind of came to a halt there on the show anyway. But we did have morning steam winner here yesterday with St. Louis and Cincinnati game to go under yesterday. That was a winner for us here as ended up being a low scoring game there in game number 1 with the Cardinals winning it 2-1 in a low, like I said, in a low scoring game there. Game 2, however, went to the Reds 6-5, and also Marlins and the Phillies was Phillies grabbing the win there 6-5 yesterday. Padres, tell you what, Padres set a record yesterday, a 94-year-old record. They had 3 men thrown at a home plate in the first 2 innings. You'd think that would happen somewhere in 96 years, but apparently it didn't. Leave it to the Padres in a 1-run game to get 3 guys thrown out at home plate in the first 2 innings and set a modern-day record. Dodgers got back healthy, beat up on the Rockies there. Looks like the Dodgers know they can beat the Rockies, so they better because they can't beat anybody else. They smashed them 11-5 yesterday. Max Muncy 3-run home run. Ohtani hit a solo home run. And Dave Roberts been on a tirade that the Dodgers are playing below average baseball for the last 5 weeks. Duh. Bobby Miller made his second start at Oklahoma City, though. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 97 miles an hour. He could be close. And we'll see. Do the Dodgers, are they going to end up is Mark Walter going to have to liquidate his Dodgers shares too? This guy owes everybody money. All right, Orioles and the Rays yesterday. Blowout city here in that one, 7-6 in favor of Tampa Bay. But, man, the Orioles kept coming back, taking the lead. McClanahan didn't have a good outing, but the Rays were able to get the win there, 7-6 over the Orioles. Johnny DeLuca, 2-run single. The Rays hit 3 home runs and were able to topple the Orioles. Where's the winner? Do we have any winners out here? A's and Royals yesterday. Another game involving 2 teams going nowhere, but it was 9-5 in favor of the Royals. They smashed it yesterday. Bobby Witt, 2-run home run in that one. Also, Detroit and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh loses to Detroit 8-5. McGonigal, a 2-run home run for Detroit in that one. Also, Red Sox blew out the Diamondbacks. Said Rafaela had an RBI double. Everybody had an RBI. Every man in the Red Sox lineup drove in a run. Heck, if you could do that, you win every game. But top 4 guys in the order went 9 for 18 with 6 runs scored. I think the Red Sox go in the playoffs. Braves and Twins 4-2 in favor of the Twins, picking up the win there yesterday. A little bit of a upset there, but can't win them all. Twins were able to get the win with Josh Bell, 2-run double. And finally, it was the Cubs beating the White Sox 7-5. Grichuk, 3-run home run. PCA had the walk-off in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Suzuki also homered, but it was the big blow by PCA yesterday to get the win and to walk it off there. His 30th home run of the year in the bottom of the first. He also had a home run. White Sox blew that lead. They were up 5-4 late. All right, and let's see. It was one in the WNBA. Golden State got the win, and I guess we got the win on the under there in that one. We had a winner in the WNBA. It was 78-70, I think, the final there, and that was good enough for an under yesterday. 4 games today. All right. Anybody else showing up here for the show? If not, we'll get started here anyway. And the Philly game yesterday with the what was it? With Philly game with the Marlins? Did we even talk about that? Walker Buehler got in that run support. Wings came out slow after traveling from Indiana, said Terrell. Hey, V Ranger's here. Nice to see V Ranger around. All right, let's just get into the picks and the previews. Why not? All right, Yankees and Carlos Rodon goes here. Rodon returns to the rotation here right now. He's been kind of injured here of late, but you're going to get some Carlos Rodon action here tonight with the Yankees on the road. Maybe a slight favorite here against Shane Baz. Baz is pretty much a big loser here so far this season with a 4-12 record for the O's. You know, the O's have been playing pretty well. They're inching there, trying to hang on, trying to get this playoff spot. They're battling a bunch of teams for that last wild card in the American League. But when you're Baz and the team is 6-18 with you on the mound, you're the problem. Yeah, I know that, you know, it's a team game, but 4 ERA, 1.36 whip, 268 batting average against, a 321 BABIP. Rodon is set to be activated from the injured list for the first time here right now for Rodon, or, a few outings here. He's been sidelined since June 30th, first time in 2 months here. So did have 4 1/3 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts. Did have 58 pitches in his warm-up rehab start. So still probably can go 70 pitches here or so today. Orioles had their 3-game win streak snapped yesterday. Meanwhile, the Yankees lost for the first time in 3 games. And, you know, Orioles coming off that series against the Rays, they did play pretty well, winning 3 of 4. They should have won that game yesterday. They certainly had the opportunities, but still won the series and looked pretty good in that series against the Rays. The Yankees, meanwhile, did lose 2 of 3 to the Blue Jays. So we'll see. Rodon, before he got injured, he was okay. I mean, what did I say? 3.3 ERA, 195 batting average against this season for Rodon. So feels like maybe still a good spot for the Yankees here, but the Orioles have shown some promise. Let's see what you got here in this one. The Orioles have been really a tough lineup in their recent games. They're really kind of a top 5 offense here over the last week or so. Yeah, a lot of strikeouts, but we'll see. Baz has been, consistently bad. Again, 4 ERA is not horrible, but maybe no run support for this guy too. When you're sitting there and you've basically been on the losing end 18 times this season. That's kind of a pattern. The Yankees' offense has been so bad. The bottom 3 against right-handers all season. We've said that time and again. And against right-handers, they haven't looked too great of late. Averaging just 1.1 earned runs and 3.4 hits per game in their last 10 starts against right-handed starting pitching. So can they summit it up here today? Because it hasn't been great. And the Orioles have the better offense. Rodon might be a little bit better, but question marks coming back off the injured list. Let's see what Chad has to say here with this one. All right, and whoops, here we go. Over or Cash Kane, he's got Rice to the home run. Says it's overdue. Well, he hit that home run though the other night. Let's see here. Blake, first 5. Ronnie Borkman's here. Final. How about Philly Eagle Flyer? We got 10 gold coin. The penny has been discontinued. All right, here's the 9 Legacy Yankees run line. They discontinued the penny because it costs 3.8 cents to make 1 penny. Ryan Mueller on the Yankees on the money line here. Terrell says Baz is not good. I think he's saying this is against. Against the Yanks. I think that's what he's saying there. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try the Yankees for sure here in this one, but I'm not too proud of it. Again, you got the Orioles have been better offensively than the Yanks, and like I said, the Orioles have played decent enough to put themselves in this contention here with all these other teams pretty much going for that last playoff spot. So, okay, we're going to keep it moving here on the morning steam. Let me see, I think I got one more here. Terrell says get 5 earned runs versus New York back on May the 4th. So I'm talking about Baz. Final. All right, let's keep it going here right now. Next up. Well, there's the Marlins and the Phillies right now with the Marlins. This will be Cade Gibson here for the Marlins. 5.6 ERA, a 2-0 record for Gibson, but he's nothing more than a glorified opener here, I believe, in this one. For Gibson, this will be his first start of the season, actually. 29 appearances, 1.54 whip, 293 batting average again. So, you're going to have an opener here for sure. And then reportedly for the Marlins after that, you're going to have Tyler Phillips in there, and he'll be operating in a bulk roll here. It feels like he's been worked up to a full pitch count over the last 5 starts or so. So just needs a little help here with the front part of the lineup, and then you'll get Tyler Phillips in here. Maybe Gibson will spot the Phillies a lead. That's always a great idea. Phillips faced the Phillies offense just 4 games ago and had a solid outing. But the lineup is hitting pretty well here right now. They've been probably in the top 10 or better over the last week or so, and against right-handed pitching as well. The last 10 they've faced, averaging 2.7 earned runs and 5.6 hits and 6.5 hits per game and against their last 4 starts against right-handed starting pitching. So Phillips' splits against left-handers aren't that great. 1.54 whip. And, he's not awful, but Wheeler here, he's been destroying here pretty much. However, a little bit of a slump here for Wheeler of late. 4+ earned runs in 3 straight games, and he did have one decent start, but he was against the Orioles. The game got rained out, basically. They didn't play the remainder of it. So 2.89 ERA, 10-4 record for Wheeler. Been really good. Phillies have won 4 in a row here again. Look at this. They're minus a big number here on the screen, 240. So Marlins offense has not been that great, but they've been okay. But Wheeler's probably too good of a starter to keep throwing in a couple of weak efforts here for him anyway. But still, is he interested in 240 against a Marlins team that can still play competitive? I mean, they're sitting here, certainly in battling for the spot too, battling for that final spot here a little bit. See what you got here in this one, but Wheeler 205 batting average against, 266 BABIP coming in, pretty good numbers overall for Wheeler still. Here come the plays from the chat. You got Cash Kane going under. You got Blake here. He's on the Marlins on the run line. Philly Eagle Flyer says the Phillies will lead after the second and third innings. Again, only hit the lead after the third inning yesterday. 9 Legacy says Phillies on the run line. And Gimby's going to come in and throw that to sinker. Well, hopefully, we probably should throw it a little more. Gibson got strikeouts over for Kane. Marlins bats are good against Wheeler, says Cash Kane. He says they've had success against Wheeler in the past. Yeah, Wheeler against the Marlins here. Against this expected lineup, the expected lineup hitting 220 against Wheeler. 8 for 59 or 13 for 59 with a couple of home runs, 6 walks, 22 strikeouts. Seems like pretty good, pretty okay numbers there actually. But let's see how you have it here. It might be too easy to take the Phillies, but I don't know that price. Maybe on the run line or something like that. But I'll probably look to the total here in this one. The Phillies have gone over in 7 of their last 9 games coming into this one. And for the Marlins here, they're 37-26 to the over as an underdog. So maybe the runs will come here in this one. Obviously, yesterday with 11 runs, I think, in that game yesterday, and the Phillies 6-5 win. All right. Let's see here in the chat. Anything more on this one of the Marlins and the Phillies? Wheeler's held those Miami hitters, I thought. But here we go. A few more. Marlins, probably the most underrated offense. Over team total here, says Terrell. They like the Marlins here to get to Wheeler a little bit. Okay, I'll try the over in this one. I'm going to ride with the chat a little bit here. I don't know if I can take the Marlins, though. I know what you guys are saying. I'm not seeing it. I don't see it the way you guys do, but I'm just going by the stats, and I know you guys watch the games a little more closely, maybe. Okay, let's keep moving here right now. Morning Steam Show. Cardinals on the road taking on the Reds with Patrick Leahy goes here. Kyle Leahy. Who's Patrick Leahy? Kyle Leahy, 3.37 ERA, a 9-4 record for Leahy. Good numbers overall. He's had a solid season actually here. Um, Also 1.34 whip could be a little better, but for Andrew Abbott, coming in here with a 6-7 record, 4.13 ERA, 1.42 whip, 246 batting average against here in this one for Leahy. Road favorite here right now against these Reds. I mean, yes, the Cardinals are still battling over 500 there, and the Reds have definitely fallen back right now, but Leahy here and the Cardinals, they are a little bit better on the road, and the Reds 38-47 as an underdog this season. Yesterday, as I said, 6-5 in game number 2. Game number 1 was 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals as they played that doubleheader. All right, let's see what you guys think in this one with Leahy going up here against the Reds and Andrew Abbott. Leahy is a 21% K rate here. Reds offense has gone downhill fast once again over the last week. They've been in pretty much the bottom 3 in every category, and that kind of coincides with their overall season mark. Last in batting average, next to last in hits. They've just had trouble producing. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, they're not anything special. They're probably bottom 10 in offense here right now. Ellie De La Cruz walked it off in game number 2 yesterday, so maybe they'll come in with a little bit of momentum. But, Abbott, some of these numbers are concerning here, especially the metrics here. 6.3 Sierra, 708 xFIP. I mean, that's not bad luck. Although his FIP is 3.81. Cardinals offense pretty solid over the last week or so right now. It does feel like they might be a little bit better here with Leahy on the mound. So let me grab them here. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one to beat the Reds today. I'll try Leahy in this one. I know the Cards haven't been great against lefties. In fact, just 2 runs on average and 4.2 hits in their last 10 starts against left-handed starting pitching. But Sanchez and Weathers have kind of shut them down too. But maybe against a guy like Abbott, who definitely is having it's just so season for a guy who'd been pretty good over the last 2 years. So Cardinals, I think they've had the better offense. I think they got a bullpen advantage here, and I think Leahy's a little better too. So I'll just try $1.20 here on the road. Okay, let's see what the chat said. Blake is on the Cardinals on the money line, and Cash Kane says maybe go under in the first 5. Next up, the Blue Jays are on the road taking on the Rays. You've got the Rays and you've got the Jays. And, well, good pitching matchup here with Nick Martinez, 2.73 ERA, a 12-3 record for Martinez. The Rays are 18-5 with Martinez on the mound. Now, look, the Jays have Soriano here. He's been so good this season, 3.16 ERA, but even better so far since coming to Toronto from the Angels with a 1.68 ERA with the Jays. And 217 batting average against on the season here for Soriano. Yes, 11% K rate, 11% walk rate. Not great, but the Rays are definitely the stronger team here right now. But they've lost 3 of 4 coming into this one. Meanwhile, for Toronto, did lose last time out, but had won a couple before that against the Yankees. Had a good series at home against them, taking 2 of 3 games. So, the Rays are still 42-21 at home. I mean, the price belies that. But, the Blue Jays have had a little bit of success, and Soriano, very good numbers this season. See what you got here. It's his 25th start of the year. You want to give him a chance, actually, here in this one. With Soriano going, as dominant as they've been, it just seems like kind of a high price here anyway at $1.35. Man, Martinez has been so solid, though. And like I said, the Rays, they seem to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. I don't know what happened there in the Baltimore series. They definitely were struggling there a little bit. So Cash Kane is on the Blue Jays on the run line here. Well, look, that might be the way to go. I just don't know if I could do it given the price. But you got to think maybe a one-run game. Martinez, his 7-16 to the under for Martinez to go with that 18-5 record overall for the Rays. So it is 7.5 here in this one. I've got to think it's going to be under in the first 5. Give me the under here with these two hurlers. I'll go under in the first 5 with Soriano and Martinez. I think that's the way to go. Let's see. Blake says Toronto first 5. Money line. Farley's on the Rays. Okamoto to hit a home run. And Terrell says people think that the ballpark here, what is he saying here? That the scoring is because of the short outfield. But I think he's saying that there's no gaps, possibly. Okay. Dylon's here today. Good morning, Dylon. And also Ryan here liking the under. Terrell says the Rays will smack Soriano. It's one of his favorite matchups here. Man, Soriano's been very, very strong and good. But I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under in the first 5 in this one. Okay, next up, the Giants here are taking on the Guardians with Kyle Wisenhunt goes here for the Giants. Or no, what's his why do I keep getting these names here? Carson Wisenhunt going here against Foster Griffin. I know him. Griffin has not looked great here so far since coming over to the Guardians. Has had some rugged numbers for sure. On the season, 3.25 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, 230 batting average against, but he hasn't seemed comfortable since coming over to the Guardians from the Nats. Just a 6 ERA so far for Griffin and a 1-1 record. For Carson Wisenhunt, he's got a 6.1 ERA and a 3-3 record going here. So I don't know. For some reason, I think these two guys might be able to have a decent outing here early on. I mean, Foster Griffin, we've been waiting for him, and we know the Giants' offense leaves something to be desired right now, particularly on the road. I wouldn't expect them to be able to do that much here against Griffin, but like I said, we just haven't seen Griffin perform very well since coming over to the Guardians. Wisenhunt's been struggling for sure. Did have his best game of the season against the Astros in his most recent start. He'd been looking terrible, so that was a big surprise. He's got these bad numbers, 275 batting average against on the season, and on the road it's even worse. 9.26 ERA and a 353 batting average against. The Guardians lineup has been very mediocre, that's for sure. The problem is these offenses are so bad that they might make these pitchers look pretty good. Griffin, like I said, had a rough first game with the Guardians, but did look better against Detroit. 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, 4 hits, and just 1 earned run in his last start. So, look, he's been solid on the season. You'd think he could eventually be able to come through. Just here, you got kind of a pretty big price there, $1.75 or so, but I don't know. I'm not real fond here of Wisenhunt. I'm going to take the Guardians here on the run line in this one at -1.5 at +110. I'll take the Guardians here to get a run line win. They're not great against the run line. I can't promise you that. They're one of the worst teams on the run line, and the Giants are actually over 500. But I'm not looking for Wisenhunt to be able to do too much here. This team just lost 2 of 3 at home to Colorado. Yeah, the Guardians didn't do well against the Padres there, but all right, let's see if the chat's in to this one. Cash Kane's going to do the same thing. Going to take the Guardians here. Nine Legacy says Cardinals money line. Tampa Bay on the run line. Nine Legacy says Guardians on the run line as well. Farley, Cleveland, first 5. So maybe it is what these guys are saying. Terrell says I can't bet that offense right now. No, nobody's really doing very much here offensively from this lineup. Joe Adell has not fulfilled anything really here so far. I got a couple of knocks, but so far Joe Adell sub 200 batting average with this team, and Reese Hoskins disaster this year for sure. Chaneo's been okay of late here, but yeah, this lineup leaving something to be desired. Martinez and Ramirez both hitting in the 230s. Kwan's been fine most of the time. So, but I'm going to have to try him today. I'm going to take the Guardians here in this one. Next up, we've got the Tigers and Keter Montero on the road taking on Braxton Ashcraft and the Bucks. Now, Ashcraft has been incredible here. He just came off of one of the most thrilling wins of the season, actually. Dominating effort last time out. This is what you want with Braxton Ashcraft. Ashcraft, 9-inning complete game there last time out against the Marlins, a one-hitter. 10 strikeouts and just 85 pitches. Talk about efficient. 3.82 ERA on the season. Ashcraft is 12-5, and the Bucks 19-5 with Ashcraft on the mound. So this is one guy that really gives them a great chance every time out here. Yes, the number a little bit high here to want to take the Pirates, and they're not actually totally dominating out there right now, but the Tigers leave something to be desired on the road every time. And I gotta think Ashcraft gets off to a pretty good start here. Montero, 20 starts, 3.22 ERA, 0.99 whip, 208 batting average against. So, pretty solid here. You got 2 decent starters here. Maybe it will be a low-scoring game early. Maybe you can look to the first 5 under here. With these 2 starters. Now, Detroit's 10-10 with Montero on the mound, and he's 9-10 to the under in his starts this season. But 228 BABIP for Montero, really strong numbers. So I don't know, with Ashcraft, with all his quality here, and able to win, you got to think feels more like a pitcher's duel than anything else. Yes, Pittsburgh can definitely crush righties here. I'll give you that. But they've been in kind of a slump here from what they were doing early on in the season. So, as good as they've been, Ashcraft here. Let's see, what does numbers look like here of late? Okay, let me go to the chat here in this one. Oh, not much from the chat. Just Farley here. He likes the Tigers on the money line here with Montero. Yeah, the Tigers offense definitely woke up, but you still look at them on the season, and they haven't been great on the road. They've actually, though, 29-33 overall. They've closed the gap a little bit there with some road success. All right. Give me the under in the first 5 here in this one as well. I'll take under first 5. Both these pitchers are doing pretty well here right now. Terrell says Detroit over their team total. He thinks the Tigers like playing here in Pittsburgh. Well, they only play here once every 2 seasons here, but let's see here. last year the Bucks won them all three of them, by a combined score of 17-6. Okay. All right, I'll just go first five there in that one. First five under. All right, next up, Padres are on the road. Robbie Ray goes there in this one. For Ray here, pretty okay numbers since coming over to the Padres. And I say okay numbers. Statistically, he doesn't have good numbers with the Padres so far, but still 3.08 ERA on the season, and or 3.28 ERA on the season, 1.32 WHIP, 229 batting average against for Robbie Ray, and for Thornton here, Zach Thornton. 8 starts now, 2.78 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, 230 batting average against, 256 BABIP. Thornton's been solid so far, but not a lot of work so far. Maybe a little bit of a short sample, but nonetheless effective here. And for Robbie Ray, he could look to turn it around here a little bit anytime soon. He's been tagged really in both of his starts here at the Padres. He also faced some pretty good teams, though, in the Astros and the Brewers. Was solid for 3 months until he came down here. He's one of the most reliable left-handers in the league. But so far with the Padres, really hasn't quite shown it just yet. Mets offense has been solid of late, but against lefties, really haven't been that strong. Averaging just 1.8 runs and 4.2 hits per game in their last 10 against left-handed starting pitching, although they did have a good one against Foster Griffin a couple of weeks ago. They're always shooting for those home runs, and Robbie Ray does not really give up home runs, particularly lately. Padres offense still continues to cook here right now as one of the best in the league. Thornton's been good, so maybe with a couple left-handers, you could expect this one to be kind of tight early. Padres are 14-9, or Rays teams are 14-9 with him on the mound. Let's see what the chat says here. Mets here for Farley, and this one he'll take the Mets. Oh man, kind of like the Padres here in this one. I'm not fading Farley, but I got to take the Padres here. I'm not going back to the old fade the Mets every time here right now. They're on a 4-game winning streak. I think the Mets can win 5 in a row. Maybe they can. Ryan says Padres team total over in this one. Yeah, Padres have been hanging in there. Even when they've lost, they've been pretty close. Yesterday's game 2-1. They still covered the run line technically. They were underdogs in that game, but not much offense for the Padres. They've had a couple of weak outings here of late against the Mets and the Guardians overall. Mets, they're not a terrific dog here with a 19-36 record, but I'll try the Padres and Ray. And hello to Stop Geo in the chat today. Next up, Diamondbacks on the road. Merrill Kelly goes in this one. He's up against Ranger Suarez, sir. Fix that graphic a little bit. There we go. For the Diamondbacks here, and Merrill Kelly, 5.11 ERA coming in, 1.48 WHIP, 275 batting average against, and 284 BABIP. Diamondbacks are 9-13 with Kelly on the mound. They're 6-13 to the under, but with Suarez on the mound, the Red Sox are 14-7 to the over. But he's got 3.25 ERA and a 1.8 WHIP, so usually it's plenty of run support for Suarez. That's Terrell's favorite. He loves that run support. But look at the price here, $1.80. You're going now. Arizona was bad yesterday. They got crushed by this team. No other way to put it. The price move was effective there, right? Because I wasn't going to lay it there. I don't even think I want to lay $1.80 here. The Diamondbacks are still having a solid season. They've got a pretty strong record here. They're only 1.5 games worse than the Red Sox overall record-wise this season. So what gives? I mean, yes, Suarez very effective here, extremely effective, and Kelly definitely rugged numbers. Although he is 8-10, and like I said, the Diamondbacks are definitely playing well here. They're fighting for this playoff berth as well. So it's not like the Red Sox are 10 or 15 games better than the Diamondbacks. They virtually have the same record here. So maybe the Diamondbacks here. The run line's not a great price at minus $1.40 or so, but I just have a hard time believing you can, want to lay $1.80 when the teams basically have similar records. There's no doubt that Suarez has been, much more solid than Merrill Kelly. And, Merrill Kelly, maybe his days have long past here. But he was starting to turn his season around. I don't know what happened. Then all of a sudden, he had a solid game against the Dodgers, and then all of a sudden, last start, he allowed 5 in his last 3 starts. He had the solid game against the Dodgers, but the other 2, he allowed 5+ earned runs, and basically in his last 3 starts, an ERA close to 7, and he's walking the house. Last 3 starts, he's got 11 walks. So, yeah, I know Kelly's terrible, but I'm going to try him on the run line. That's what I'll do. It's a bad price, but I just don't know where else to go here. The Diamondbacks still are solid. No doubt they got blowed up yesterday, 11-1. Mitch Bratt, Zach Littell, those guys were no good for Arizona yesterday. So I think they crushed Kelly here in the end, but I just can't pass. Ranger Suarez has made 4 starts since returning from injury. He's looked pretty good, but I will note in his last 3 starts he is down to a 13% K rate. I think they said no problem, no indication that there's any structural thing or whatever, but that's pretty concerning. And the Red Sox have been kind of deliberate with Ranger Suarez's pitch count, so they'll probably get to the bullpen early. He did throw 81 pitches in his last game. That's the most he's thrown since coming back so far, but I don't think he'll go any more than that right now. This is as tough as a matchup here. Arizona's lineup, number 1 offensively versus lefties this season. So, yes, Suarez is good, but Diamondbacks are in the top 10 here. Or higher of late against left-handed starters. In fact, in their last 10 games, they've done a nice job scoring. So this is what they do. They've got a pretty decent offense, and I'm going to have to hope that they come through here because I'm going to take them. I'm going to go with Arizona. Okay. And Stop Geo says, man, the Padres, they lose one game in New York, then they lose them all in New York. I remember it used to be a disaster when the Padres would go to New York, Philadelphia, and Montreal. Nine Legacy says Tigers money line and Padres money line. That was a long time ago, right, with Montreal. Cash Kane says Red Sox money line. Nine Legacy says Red Sox on the run line. So a lot of support here. But here's Farley with me going to try that run line. And what Stop Geo says Boston has won their last 15 night games in a row. Just play them all at night. Every time there's a day game, they should call them up and say, can we move this to against night games against good teams? Alrighty, let's keep it moving here. I'll just try the Diamondbacks in that one. The Athletics here with Jack Perkins and going up against Daniel Lynch here. I believe Lynch might get an opener in this one. Let me see what's going on here. Or Lynch is the opener, I should say. Lynch just 2 starts this season in 48 appearances. After Lynch, you're going to see Mason Black and probably a whole host of other characters, I would imagine, for the Royals here. This feels like a bullpen game. Black has been used in a bulk of relief spots, and when you got a guy like Lynch here who doesn't have a lot of inning depth 2.88 ERA, 102 whip, 199 batting average against Lynch and Black here. Black getting hit a little bit, as giving up at least one run in his last 6 starts, but 3.51 ERA in his last 3 outings. The A's have been solid again on offense. They're starting to pick it up here a little bit offensively, but they've been a disaster here over the last 2 months of the season. The Royals might have it on them. They've already won 2 in a row here. Coming in. So let's see what you think of this one with the Royals. I don't spend much time on this one. This one will be out of the rotation here in a few couple of weeks here probably. Royals are 23-18 as a favorite this year. A's are 25-35 on the road. Got to lay a little price here a little bit, but kind of want to take the Royals again. So give me the Royals. Oh man, $1. Can we get any better price than this? $1.52 now? That's getting up there, man. Oh, boy. Well, I think I'm committed, though. I'll just take the Royals here in this one. I laid $1.35 last night. Now I'm seeing $1.52 or so. But, well, I opened my big mouth, so I'll just have to stick with it here. Don't want to be giving a $1.50 favorites here on the show, but I'm going to right now in this one just because I don't want the A's here, even in this one against the Royals. Maybe, with Perkins and the bats coming through, maybe there is some interest here in the A's. But Perkins, 7.27 ERA and a 2-9 record here. That doesn't sound good at all. All right, let's see here. Stop Geo says the Red Sox have held the lead after the first 5 in 12 of their last 15 games. Maybe take them in the first 5 there. All right, someone doesn't know I'm on the air here. Farley says go over in the first 5. Good morning to Snizzle. And time for the golf show. How about Scotty last week? I had him. Like I said, you want to take Scotty at 5-1, not 3-1. And he crushed it there by 8 strokes. 9 Legacy says, Athletics on the money line. And Terrell says, yeah, you don't want to bet that game. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the 17,000 subscriber powerhouse. Next up, the Mariners are on the road, taking on the Brewers here with, got Kyle Harrison going for the Brewers, and, well, you got Miller for the Mariners, so we got 2 good quality starters here for Bryce Miller. 3.38 ERA coming in, just 4-6 on the season. The Mariners are actually 4-10 with Miller on the mound. Meanwhile, for Harrison, done a great job here since coming over from the Giants. 3.47 ERA, 1.12 whip, 228. Batting average against for Harrison. The Brewers have won a couple in a row here right now. Back-to-back wins. They were able to beat the Dodgers there 3 out of 4 games. What a weekend on the road for the Brewers. For the Mariners here, they did win their series on the road against the Astros, but this has been a long trip now. They're going to Milwaukee. They've been at New York, at Houston, at Milwaukee. This is a long, arduous trip, but they did beat the Astros there in a couple. Still, they're not a great underdog. Seattle is 8-15 as an underdog this season, 3-7 in their last 10 here. They're also 8-15 on the run line as an underdog. So usually when they get beat, they get blown out. Now the offense has looked a little bit better here of late. Milwaukee 46-47 as a run line favorite, but 35-28 on the run line at home. So the Mariners offense has shown up a little bit here of late. They're still bottom 5, if not even lower, a little bit anyway. Miller had a great start to the season, but has fallen off a little bit. He's given up 11 earned runs in his last 16 and a third innings pitched. In his last 3 starts, 1.29 whip, 6.06 ERA. So The Brewers have not been as good on offense as of late, but we still know they've got the potential every time out there. Harrison feels like he's having a breakout season right now. He's been one of the best left-handers going. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'll take the Brewers here on the run line. Let's see if they can get a run line here in this one. They're plus $1.25 or better. So give me the Brewers here, minus 1.5. I'll try it with Harrison. Mariners against a lefty pitcher here. So I think that does favor the Brewers. They'll have to, the Mariners have looked a lot better with the 3 of 4, and they're in the top 10 here over the last week or so. But again, they are worse against left-handers, that's for sure. Okay, here we go. Cash Kane says take the Brewers on the money line. Farley likes first 5 here for the Brewers and 9 Legacy with me on the Brewers on the run line. Next up. There we go. The Braves, here we go. Braves are on the road with Tyler Mahle going. So far, Mahle as a Brave, he's been terrific. The numbers overall this season aren't great, but so far so good since coming over to Atlanta. He's got a 5.13 ERA on the season, but for the Braves, with the Braves so far, basically, what has he got? Sub 1 or something like that. Going up here against Zebby Matthews. Now, technically, both pitchers have been pretty rugged overall. Mahle at 306. BABIP here right now. So he's had some shaky starts, but since joining the Braves, he's been elite. 1 earned run in 12 innings pitched with 16 Ks. So change of scenery has worked out for Mahle here. For the Zebster, he continues to get rocked pretty good. 10 earned runs in his last 15 innings pitched in 3 games overall. So that doesn't feel like a great spot necessarily here for the Twins. Braves have lost 3 of 4. The Twins have lost 3 of 4 right now. The Braves have not had that same offense as they had earlier in the season. In fact, over the last week or so, they're kind of near the bottom. But they're favored here in this one. And Mahle, for whatever reason, he started to find it, which is good. His teams were 7-13 so far this season with Mahle going, but hey, maybe this will work out. Let's see what you have in the chat. I don't know if you'll continue to duplicate those numbers, but let's see here. Olsen a home run for Cash King today. Farley says take the Braves on the run line. He really likes them here. And Stop Geo talking Mariners following a road win. They've lost 8 of their last 9. Oh, man, I got to take the Brewers. Okay, Mahle is a favorite here. It does feel a little bit uncomfortable. The Twins actually pulled off the win yesterday, but Zebby's not been good. I'll go with the Braves here in this one. Give me the Braves on the road at minus $1.30 or so. Braves need it, obviously. They're sitting here, I don't know if they took yesterday off or whatever, but for the Twins right now, they're gasping for air here anyway in this crazy American League wild card situation for that last spot. I guess you got to consider the Twins in there. Anybody close to 500 is alive for the postseason berth. They're all tied pretty much right now. You look at the wild card standings here currently, and yes, you've got the Yankees and the Red Sox 1-2 in the wild card race. But from there, you've got Detroit 61 wins, Minnesota 61 wins, Cleveland 60 wins, Baltimore 61 wins, Toronto 61 wins, Texas 61 wins, Seattle 59 wins. All these teams are battling for that last playoff berth. So, and that's the way it's going to be here for the next 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks. So, all right, I'll go with the Braves though. All right, moving on here. Next up, we've got the Nationals on the road. Oh, the Rangers need a pitcher. Let's see if we can't get the pitcher in there. Let's see here. It's called Cal Quantrill. There we go. There we go. Sorry, Cal. Go see Cal. Oh, where is it? There we go. All right. For Cal here, 3.44 ERA, 1.2 whip, way better than the Nationals here, and Jackson Kent, 6.75 ERA and a 2.0 whip right now. So, Nationals here, they still kind of shot too, but seems like they weren't interested. Texas, like I said, they're battling for that wild card. They definitely have a better pitching advantage here. Quantrill's made 8 starts and 25 appearances. Talked about those solid numbers. Kent, though, has a whip of 214 batting average. He just has 1 start. I don't know if it's worth even reading the numbers here for Kent here for Washington, but nonetheless, I don't think I'm going to like the chances of Washington here in this one. But can the Rangers get up enough offense? Both teams are struggling here big time. The Nationals with 3 straight losses. The Rangers haven't looked too good either here. They just had a series where they lost at the A's, and they lost the series at the Angels as well. Now maybe back here at home, they can be better. I mean, they've been a real downer at home. They've lost 11 units this season. The Nationals still are profitable on the road after all this time, but they're only 3 games over 500 right now. Remember when they used to be the killers on the road? Not only that, but this Nationals offense, look, they still are, ranking very high, but again, they've been without some guys here as well, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit. But let's see what you think in this one, because you got Jackson Kent, a left-hander, just his second start in the majors. Did give up 3 earned runs in 4 innings and 5 walks against the Cubs. Even with the Cubs being great against lefties, I don't know if it's that was a totally fair matchup, I guess, is a way to put it. The Rangers haven't been good on offense. They've lost 5 of 6, but they are at home at least in this one. So I'm going to try the Rangers to beat them up here and get $1.25 on the run line. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take another run line here, get a little loose. But at plus $1.25 or better, I'll take the Rangers here on the run line. They are probably the worst run line team in the league, and actually Washington's 54-44 as a run line underdog. So probably not the best pick in the world, but I'm going to try the Rangers here in this one. I don't want Kent. All right, Stop Geo says the Braves dominate the Twins. I guess the 12th game was yesterday's game, huh? Was it 11 in a row before yesterday? Braves on the money line for Stop Geo. Cash Gains going over. Stop Geo says the Nats have lost 8 of their last 9 on the road following a win. They can't win 2 in a row on the road. Farley says take the Rangers in the first 5 here. Okay, I will. I will do that, Farley. I think I will do that, actually. Next up, the White Sox are on the road taking on the Cubs. And Kevin Gausman goes here for the Cubs. For the White Sox, you've got Hudson here, and it's not pretty so far for Hudson. He's mostly a reliever. I want to say not pretty. He's actually a very good reliever, but making his 7th start, just an opener here for sure. Eric Fetty's going to be in after this, so I don't know how excited you want to get about Fetty. Gausman just a 4.53 ERA, 258 batting average against a 314 BABIP. So Gausman here, with the Cubs, you'd think he'd fit right in, but hasn't been great so far. But again, they got him, they needed him, and maybe he can be a little bit more effective for these guys right now, because Fetty here, definitely, some starts, some relieving. You have Hudson going to open up here first, the left-hander, and get it ready for Fetty. Cubs have been solid here for sure, and of late, especially over the last week or so, the offense is stepping up again here. We've seen the power, we've seen PCA, but Gausman, usually you're expecting him to perform at a very high level, but right now he's gotten tagged pretty good a little bit. But I thought coming over the Cubs would fire him up again and get him kind of, say, hey, you're really in the postseason here. He's 6-11 this season, but White Sox have looked solid offensively lately. You got to think there's probably going to be some more runs. I mean, look at what we had yesterday after the 7-5 game there. Maybe there'll be more runs here today. I mean, the White Sox are 37-26 on the road to the over, and 56-38 to the over as an underdog. So, all right, Cubs here, kind of bombing in a good way, I think. I'm going to go ahead and take them again. I'm going to take another run line. Man, I'm getting greedy here. I'll take the Cubs on the run line plus $1.25. Man, I'm feeling square today. Let's see what the chat says. The Braves had a big streak going against those guys. Yeah, the thing is, when you're playing those interleague games, of course, they play just 3 times a year. So that's really 4 years worth of dominance, between those two teams. So Braves had won all those games, 11 straight against the Twins. Remember when the Braves played the Twins in the World Series? Wasn't that the famous Kirby Puckett series? Man, that was a while ago. Kirby, man, if you're young and you don't know about Kirby Puckett, you better go look him up. Right, Terrell? Kirby Puckett, man, he was something else. When he'd go up against that plexiglass and catch the ball. Okay, here we go. Next up, we've got the Angels and Call Me When You've Got No Classin' up against Christian Javier and the Astros. Javier has not been himself this year either, but he is $1.65 here. Might as well, going up against Klassen, 5.52 ERA, 1-1 record, but Javier, 6.68 ERA. We're probably going to have some runs here in this game, aren't we, with these two starters anyway? Seems like it. I'm going to just go over in the first 5. I mean, these guys both have ERAs pushing. We got 5.5. We got 6.68 right now. Now, these guys have not been out there a lot this year. Klassen just 4 starts, but it's not like he's had one start. He's got a 2.11 whip. And for Javier, he's got a 1.7 whip and a 330 BABIP. These guys have been downright bad. I'm going to go over in the first 5 with this one. I'm not even going to mess around anymore. Let's just get this one done and take over in the first 5 with the Angels and the Stros. The total's 9/20, so they're obviously expecting some runs here, but I'll just go over in the first half at 5 runs. At minus $1.25. Give me the over in this one, first 5. Angels and Stros. Okay, the chat here, let's see what they've got. Terrell says the White Sox, he's going over here with their run total right now. And Gausman just has not fared well. Hey, that was one game we had right there yesterday, right? We had the White Sox on the run. Oh, that's right. It was keep forgetting that it was 7. Ended up 7-5, right? Yeah, 7-5. Oh, see. Oh, we had him in the first 5. Well, that wasn't good either. That didn't come through. They were down 4-3. All right. Well, it was. I tell you what. Yeah, we did not come through yesterday, and we were having some good shows there. I love to come on there and just say, I won this one. I won this one. Where's the losers? Yesterday, I couldn't find a winner. White Sox have lost 10 in a row on the road versus NL Central opponents with a winning record. They're like, we're on the road here. We're going against the Cardinals. We're going against We just can't beat these teams that are deep. Well, they still got to have a winning record there. Yeah. All right. Farley says Astros minus 1.5. And that was incredible there. Yeah. The Braves, they couldn't get over the top. Nine Legacy says Braves run line and Astros run line. And the Nine Legacy says Rangers on the run line here. Or in that one, anyway. But in this one, I'll take over in the first 5. And we've got one other game here in Major League Baseball today, and it's going to be the Dodgers taking on the Rockies here in this one. And you do have, from the Stop Geo statistics here, Lauer, 7 straight wins as a favorite. And he's up against the Rockies here in this one. Well, seems like a pretty good matchup anyway for the Dodgers. The price doesn't seem too great, but see what you got here in this one with the Lauer. Look, Lauer, 6.68 ERA over here with the Dodgers, right? So far, 4.67 ERA this season. Look, he's won when he was with the Jays, they were winning. When he's with the Dodgers, they still win. Doesn't have great numbers, but seems to get some run support. Does have a 236 BABIP, so yes, maybe a little bit unlucky with this ERA, 243 batting average against. So the numbers are actually okay, but when you're stuck there with a 6.68 ERA and you're 1-5 with your new team, how helpful have you been? Remember, with the Jays, they were winning all of his starts, even if he wasn't that effective. Here, he's not getting us quite that great a run support. Feltner, 5.5 ERA here, 5-6 overall. These two pitchers are a combined 21-12 to the over this season. I'm willing to do that. Let's go over in this one at 11.5 in Colorado here. It's hard to get up the gumption to try to take it over with these two, but I'm going to at 11.5 here. Colorado's gone over in 7 of their last 10, including 3 straight games, although 2 of them were in San Francisco, but remember, they scored 13 runs on Sunday. Yesterday was 11-5 as the Dodgers kind of got off, right? And like I said, it's been so bad for the Dodgers of late. I think they know they've got to beat this team at least and try to stop the bleeding here right now. And the fact they pounded them yesterday, I think they know they've got a little bit of focus here and may be able to handle beating the Rockies. Because that's about all they can beat. Okay, and Noli knows the Dodgers are not playing very well, Noli. But thank you, Noli. Good to see you in here. Seattle, Milwaukee under, Toronto, Tampa Bay under. When Noli's coming in here with 2 for us today, Noli. Wow. All right, let me mark it down here for Noli. He's got that Mariners, Brewers. Under there, Toronto and Tampa Bay. He's also liking the under there in that one. I agree with Noli there, under in that one. All right, good to see Noli here. I can think of him right now sitting at his desk with that Dodger cap on, contemplating his future. Hey, Farley's going under here, 11.5, and Stop Show says Feltner's got a 6.19 ERA against the Dodgers in his career. He's got a 6.2 ERA overall. No, just kidding. There. All right, I guess that's it for the baseball, you guys. Thanks a lot for the great comments and picks. I'm going to go to the WNBA, and then the show's going to be over here. And I'm going to get back on the tennis. Yesterday was on the drive-through, and I picked that over. Man, Alexiala lost that. She just fell apart at the end. I think she got tired, and Anisimova, she's got the stamina. But did anybody see what was Anisimova doing there yesterday? Did anybody see that? Yesterday, was that real, or was she drinking, what was that? Was it apple cider, or I mean, I don't know. If you think about, I've seen, Let me see if we have it. What was Amanda drinking there yesterday? Did anybody see that yesterday? Let me see if we can't call this up here. Did Amanda have a secret beverage in there yesterday? What was she doing? I mean, this isn't AI, is it? What was Anisimova drinking there during the middle of the match? Let's run it again here. Let's just take a look at old Amanda here. Look, we know she had some. We know she can't even hit the ball. She's drunk. Is she drunk out there?
To Anisimova settling down.
What's going on here with the?
What is that, Lindsay?
Could it be apple cider, Brett?
Apple cider doesn't.
I mean, I would never suggest that a player was drinking a beer in the middle of a match, but
now watch this.
I've never seen that.
Is she hammered? Watch this.
That's certainly what it looked like.
What? That's what
to Anisimova settling down.
The match turned around at that point.
What is that, Lindsay?
All right, let's get Amanda off the screen here. She wants. What do you think, guys? What do you think, you guys? Well, all right. All right, let's go to the WNBA here. After that moment, that's when she took off in the match. Just it got her going. From there, she dominated. So you just need a little beer, right? And you don't need to be so like you could go in there and like put it in your jug, right? In the remember in the other things you take out there. No, she probably turned to the crowd. Said, can you get me a beer? How did she sneak that onto the court? Did she walk over to a fan or something? We know she's look. She's had some. She used to party a little bit. I think she probably still does. She's already a pretty great player. All right. Let's go to the WNBA here right now. And we're going to go with the Sparks taking on the Sun. Well, they're not going to be running to the, this is a broken windshield special right here. Sparks are favored on the road by 1. I have 1.5 there, but I think it's gone down. Yeah, I got to call it 1.5. Now, in the WNBA currently, a league-wide trend here. This is breaking news. 15 straight unders right now in the WNBA league-wide. This goes back so far 6 days here, or 5 days. Last 5 days, 15 straight unders in the league right now. Remember, they had a rash of overs, so I think they had the overs, so the totals are rising. Doesn't mean they shouldn't all of a sudden go under, but we also are down underneath 10 games in the season. It's not like there are teams playing for the playoffs, and I say it every day. We know the teams that are in there. I guess they could be jostling for position a little bit, but with still several games to go, are they trying to pick their spots? Minnesota's in first. Golden State's in second right now, and Las Vegas is in third. And then Indiana after that. And again, it stops right at the top 8, and then you go to the next 7, remember, with Portland. So, but for whatever reason, the defense is back all of a sudden, and now the league, it could be a coincidence, but that's a lot of unders. This one's already been slammed down to 169.5 here. It opened 173.5, and you got to think with these two inept offenses, probably get another under. Why wouldn't you? Now LA is 7-4 to the over as a favorite, but they're also 3-7 to the under in their last 10. And Connecticut's 7-10 to the under at home, and 13-16 to the under as a dog. I don't know about LA going on the road and looking. They're 3-8. ATS is a favorite as a favorite this season, so not great. Connecticut 10-7 at home here, so I'll take Connecticut in this one to try to get a win. Let's get a win with Connecticut tonight. I'll just take them. They're kind of playing out the string here, the Houston Comets, and not too thrilled with LA. There's some injuries here too. Wheeler questionable, Okoa Makani questionable, and Cam Brink is questionable. For Connecticut, Griner is questionable, and Aaliyah Edwards is questionable. So I'll just take the Connecticut Sun here to win, but probably going to try to find a way to play these unders here again. Where's Noli? Is he going to, I mean, this is like Noli. I mean, he probably doesn't watch the WNBA, but if he did, he'd be 15-0. Here's 9 Legacy Dodgers on the run line. Bobby Mack has made it here. He's on the under in this one. And Terrell says this is like the A's and the Royals of basketball. He thinks there'll be a bunch of air ball. Sun on the money line, says 9 Legacy. Let's go to at least a little bit better game here. It's going to be the Fever. Man, they're laying 10 at the Tempo. Okay. I mean, Toronto's lost 10 straight games right now. Where's the graphic? Where's the graphic? There it is. Fever have won 4 straight. Tempo have lost 10 straight. 10's a big number in the WNBA when they're starting to stretch it out a little bit. This one may even go up to 10.5. But the Fever here are 6-4 ATS in their last 10. Toronto at home, 6-11 against the spread. So I guess, probably isn't too great. And now look, here's the thing about these totals and what's been going on with these 15 in a row. And now here's probably another one. Because look at this. Even if the Fever gets 100, which they've been doing quite a bit lately, the Tempo, well, I guess they could get 90. That'd be 10 and 190. But I don't know if the Tempo can get 90. I don't know if the Fever can get 100. You'd think they could, but again, if Toronto tries to slow it down at all, they need to if they have any chance to win it all. But these two teams, I'll just mention it like this. These two teams are combined 42 and 26 to the over. And why not? I mean, we know the Fever, they have all these 100-point games. But the Fever are just 9 and 7 to the over on the road. Okay, yes, sure, they are still over on the road, but they're 12 and 7 to the over at home. Now Toronto 21 and 12 to the over, but 8 and 9 to the under at home. So it does kind of favor the under a little bit there. And maybe with this streak going, maybe it will be another under, I think. But, man, the Fever, 10 losses in a row. How many times you watching these WNBA games and a team gets way out there into a lead and then the other team comes back and gets the back door? A lot. Isn't that happening quite a bit right now? Maybe for the Tempo, it might be a little too much because they've been bad. And, the Fever, like I said, they're battling those top teams. You do want to try to get a top seed here still. So Fever have been so hot for sure. They won the first meeting between the two teams, 113-91. I actually think they're going to play one more time after this. That was at Indiana. They won by 22, laying 8.5. I'm taking the Fever here, minus 10 on the road. Give me the Fever here on the morning steam show. And might be tough to think about laying 10 in this league because the teams just keep coming back. Kane thinks it's going to be an upset tonight. Break that 10-game losing streak and get the win. Let's go Tempo. I don't know about that. Robert's going under, though, here as well. And 9 Legs is going to be over. And AOD loves the show. Okay, here we go. Next up. Now, look. If there was going to be one game today and they said, you can't take under in all 4. You just cannot do it. It's like one of those games, right? A gun to your head. Give me the gun. And it's 179 here. Liberty favored and favored over the Sky here. The only reason I'd say this would be the one to take over, other than the fact that the Liberty here, 16-3 to the over on the road. Now that's tough to ignore, especially when you're getting now. Look, 179. That's starting to look kind of low again. All of a sudden, we're talking about how all the games are going under, but there's going to be adjustments. Now New York, they've been winning, but they haven't been covering. That's for sure. That's funny. They're 16-3 to the over on the road. They're also 3-15 and one push ATS on the road. So what happens? They have high scores and they do not cover. Chicago, they kind of cooperate in the high score department. 10-7 to the over, 21-14, 10-7 to the over at home, 21-14 to the over at overall, and not only that, 10-7 against the spread at home. So this is where Liberty has trouble in this spot. Chicago, they are no good. They're not good. They have not had a good season. They're not going anywhere. But they've had their moments at home. If they've done anything, it's been at home. They are 8-9 straight up at home, and the Liberty are just 10-9 straight up on the road. Now the Liberty are 20-10 straight up as a favorite, and Chicago's 4-18 straight up as a dog. Not that it's 3.5 can still get you home. But I'm going to go here with the Sky in the first half. Give me the Sky here, first half. I kind of want to take the over, to be honest with you. And maybe it will be the one game that goes over. I might still find my way to the over. Maybe over first half was the answer here. Let's see. We do have a play in the chat anyway. Robert's on the Sky. Terrell says that team total's too much for the tempo. And you're right, Terrell, because the Fever's defense is, they when you win effectively with such a high, I don't want to use the word tempo. I hate to do that when the tempo's involved, and then you're thinking about the tempo. But a team that scores a lot of points, right? So your defense is going to look a little bit worse, but I think they're probably a little underrated on defense, actually. So, anyway, let's go ahead and take the Sky in the first half plus 1.5. All right. Next up, the final game dream right now is still, okay, they've covered a couple here of late, finally, after really struggling, but it's because they've started to win here, or I say started to win. They're still 21-13. They've won 7 of 10. They're still doing a good job, but they just can't cover. As an underdog, this is only the third time all season that the Dream has been an underdog. So, maybe it will be tough actually here for Las Vegas to cover a number, but they're playing pretty well. Las Vegas, they're not covering at a big margin, but they actually lost 3 of their last 5, but they did sweep Washington, lost to Minnesota at home. That was a little bit tough. They've actually lost the last 2 to Minnesota, and they lost to New York as well. So they've had a little bit of trouble here, but I got to go under. Come on. This is one you want to go under, I think. With the Dream as an underdog, this is going to be a little bit of a test. And I think a 177 is just fine. This one's dropped 3 points already. Give me the under here in this one with Atlanta and Las Vegas. Okay, let's see here. Liberty money line for Terrell. Says that the books have adjusted to them a little bit finally. The numbers are coming down, and that kind of gets them at 3.5. They should be better than Chicago, says Terrell. And Robert's taking the Aces here, minus 3.5. Man, I guess the morning steam show's over, huh? Want to thank everybody for joining me here today. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we got tonight UFC coverage with the Dana White Contender Series. And you can go underneath the live tab and check out the previews. We had Mr. Blonde and VB, 2 guys who won't show their face on the screen. And they wonder how I can't, we're on a great channel here on the Sports Buddy Network. I mean, but we're not going to be on network TV if you don't show your face. I probably won't be on network TV if I'm showing my face. But the analysis was good, and this is where we've had a great week. And VB had a strong week last week there with 8 units of profit on the Contender Series show with his free picks that you can get at betmma.tips. And should be a good card here tonight. Break up the monotony of the week and get ready for the action. All right. And also, by the way, hey, if you want to check out here, I will say this, okay? My time has come. Let me get back to the screen here. Whoops. My time has come. I've been, forcing my Little League coverage on you all here over the last couple of weeks, and, can't bet Little League or whatever. Well, that's not true now. We've reached the point where there's one famous book, you know what it is, on the internet. Starts with a B and has an O in the middle and has an L on the end. And, well, the odds are out. The odds are out at Bet Online. And so I do have my preview of the U.S. pool I've just released here a short time ago. And you want to bet on some 12-year-olds, this is the time to do it. By the way, the California team opened California team opened plus $2, and they're now minus $1.50 to win the U.S. pool. I've been telling you about that team, but you can go to YouTube and check it out. I previewed the U.S. pool here. Let me see if I at least can show it a little bit. Getting some real traction on some of these videos. I didn't know I was going to go kind of viral on some of these. I don't know if it's viral, but let me see. Let me call these up here real quick and just entertain you a little bit here for a few minutes, since we got a nice crowd in here and you can make fun of me betting on Little League. But over at Bet Online, they do have the odds out to win the pools here right now. The team from California, my favorite team, is the favorite to win the U.S. Pool right now at the Little League World Series. And the lines are out for the game. I'm just seeing them for the first time here right now. Nicaragua, $1.45 over Dominican Republic. Alabama, $5 over Washington with Kinley Rasmus in there. There's my U.S. preview, though, right there. I previewed the entire field here for the United States.
Welcome to South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where 10 United States regional champions have arrived to pursue the Little League World Series Baseball World Championship.
Check that out.
Sweetwater Valley Little League from Bonita, California, enters as the overwhelming Southeast tournament and also dominated from the mound. Rasmus worked 9 innings, allowed only 4 hits, and struck out against 10th-ranked Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Bayon's leading stars here, Hamilton, West Side, Ohio, against 3rd-ranked Paseo Verde of Henderson, Nevada. We are considerably more optimistic about both clubs than many outside bracket. Sweetwater Valley went undefeated at the West Region tournament and defeated Hawaii.
But again, I'm just looking at I saw the lines for the pools, and now I'm seeing these game lines for the first time. South Korea minus 2,500 over Canada. South Korea is my pick to win the international championship. I'm going with California to win the whole thing. I know it's tough to go against the international pool, especially South Korea, Japan, and I'm also pulling for Mexico as well. New Jersey minus $1.30 over Massachusetts. That'll have 2 of the biggest stars at the Little League World Series, actually, in Montbelier there. And let's see here. Okay, I think I'll take it off the screen there, but check it out over there on YouTube. You can find my previews there for the Little League World Series, and I think I did a good job with that. So, okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll catch you later. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam for a Wednesday for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If